รายการต่อไปนี้เหมาะสำหรับผู้ชมที่มีอายุ13ปีขึ้นไปอาจมีภาพเสียงหรือเนื้อหาที่ต้องใช้วิจารณญาณในการรับชมผู้ชมที่มีอายุน้อยกว่า13ปีควรได้รับคำแนะนำ
สายการบินแอร์เอเชีย We Are Clinic บนเวทีประกวดสาวงามทุกที่ครับที่นอกจากประกวดความสวยช่วงที่สำคัญที่สุดอีกช่วงก็คือการตอบคำถามครับและตั้งแต่การดูประกวดมาคำตอบของ Miss Grand International 2015 คนล่าสุดนี้เรียกได้ว่าช็อกกันไปทั้งวงการเลยทีเดียว
As many of you know, I am a child of rape.
เธอบอกว่าเธอเป็นลูกที่เกิดจากการถูกข่มขืน
I know that it's a shocker to say.
เธอรู้ว่าเป็นสิ่งที่น่าตกใจมากที่จะพูดออกมา
อาเนียกาเซียครับเป็นสาวสองสัญชาตินั่นก็คืออเมริกันกับโดมินิกันริพับลิกเพิ่งอายุ20ปีเมื่อเดือนที่แล้วและเป็นรองชนะเลิศอันดับ2ของ Miss USA ปี 2014 ครับและเคยเป็นคนไร้บ้านหรือที่เรียกกันว่า homeless ด้วย
So you've been here for quite a few weeks?
Yes, I've been here for almost 2 months now. Yes, because including the 3 weeks from the competition and then post from when I won. So I've been here for quite some time.
อันนี้บอกว่ามาอยู่ที่นี่ประมาณเกือบ2 เดือนแล้วนะฮะ How many weeks from the competition?
3. Yes.
So 2 months. 2 months. ก็มาอยู่นี่ประมาณ2 เดือนแล้ว So do you like living in hotel rooms?
It's a luxury experience, right? It's very different from what I have experienced. It's very nice. Everyone's really sweet, and it's just different that you don't always eat at home. You have a restaurant right downstairs. There's a gym in your building.
And do you gym?
Of course, every single day.
Every day?
Yeah, every day.
Is there a day where you wake up and you don't want to go to the gym?
No, when it's part of your routine, it's hard not to go.
We met. This is the second time.
Yes.
It's Arnia.
Ania.
Ania.
Yes.
Meaning?
Ania Wanigan. It means more than beautiful.
มากกว่าความสวยงาม Ania. I like that.
Thank you.
So what do Thais call you? Anya.
Ania.
Anya. So what's your name?
Ania.
No, you're in Thailand. What's your name?
Ania.
Yeah. So can you speak Thai now?
A little. I learned a few words when I was in Krabi. I learned, of course, I know how to say sawadika, kapun ka, shan shir, ania.
บอกก่อนว่าอันนี้เนี่ยเป็นผู้ไร้บ้านตอนที่แข่งเวที Miss USA แล้วก่อนหน้านั้นคือก็จะนอนในรถบ้านแล้วก็ทำงาน3 งานด้วยกันแต่เขาก็บอกว่าถ้าเกิดว่าใครไม่เคยอยู่ในสถานการณ์นั้นรู้สึกมันแปลกก็เลยเป็นที่มาของคำถามต่อไปที่อยากจะถามเธอว่ารู้สึกไงคำว่าไร้บ้านนะหรือเธอเป็นคนไร้บ้านหรือเปล่าวันนี้ So would you call yourself homeless still?
When you have a place to live and food to eat in that home, I wouldn't consider myself homeless.
How do you define homeless?
I define homelessness if you don't have a roof under your head that you can call yours. That's what homelessness is. I mean, you can look it up in a dictionary. I believe it gives you 2 different. Yeah. The most influential person in my life, I would have to say, is my father.
พ่อของเธอเองค่ะ
As many of you know, I am a child of rape.
เธอบอกว่าเธอเป็นลูกที่เกิดจากการถูกข่มขืน
I know that it's a shocker to say.
เธอรู้ว่าเป็นสิ่งที่น่าตกใจมากที่จะพูดออกมา
But he is an influence in my life because I wouldn't be standing here before you if it weren't for him.
แต่เธอจะไม่ได้ยืนอยู่ที่นี่ถ้าไม่ใช่เพราะผู้ชายคนนี้
I would give him a hug and say to him that I forgive you because that's the only way that I can live my life in peace. And that is the only way that I can spread the message of love by forgiving him, the man who brought me into this world. Thank you.
เธอบอกว่าถ้าเธอได้เจอพ่อในตอนนี้จะเข้าไปกอดพ่อแล้วบอกว่าหนูขอยกโทษให้เพราะว่าถ้าไม่มีพ่อเธอก็จะวันยืนอยู่ในวันนี้
อันนี้ได้พูดในกองประกวดตอนประกวด Miss Grand International ว่าเธอนั้น ให้อภัยและขอบคุณพ่อแต่ถ้าฟังอย่างลึกซึ้งเนี่ยคุณพ่อเองเนี่ยได้ข่มขืนคุณแม่ถือว่าเธอคือผลผลิตของคุณพ่อที่ทำร้ายคุณแม่ I mentioned about what you said on stage about how you're forgiving your dad.
Yes.
Yeah. What was in your head at that time? I mean, was the answer pre-planned?
No. You find out the question then.
What was the question? The question was...
Who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
Has anybody ever asked that question to you?
Yes. And I always say my grandmother. Everyone knows that my grandmother is my inspiration. She is the being for why I am the way I am. And I probably would not have turned out the way that I did if it wasn't for my grandmother. So I think it was time for me to switch it up because she is the utmost influential person in your life. But there are many people who influence you. And you can't forget the people who brought you into this world. I needed people to know that if I was going to be the next Miss Grand International, that I was going to be true and stand true to the motives, because the platform is the working with against war, of course, violence and conflict. What happened to my mother was violence. It was wrong. But I cannot hold. For a very long time, I felt bad, like you are at fault. You know that what is the reason for me being here, being an outcome of rape, right? But I then realized that's not my fault, and I'm here for a reason. And now it's time for me to forgive. It's the only way that I can live my life at peace, and that's what I said on stage.
When was the first time that you realized that your mother was raped?
I've heard the word when I was 13, but I understood what it meant when I was 15 going on 16.
And did you comprehend? I mean, what was in your head at that time? You didn't understand it.
I didn't understand for a very long time what was happening. You know, to me, it was normal to live with my grandmother. It was normal to me. When other people had their parents, I would just say, oh, okay, they have their parents, I have my grandmother. It wasn't something that I put together until, you know, you grow up, you're in high school, you're being taught more, your eyes are being open to so many other things. And I'm like, whoa, she was violated. Everything was taken away from her. You're only 13 years old. That's why I say your innocence is taken away from you, your purity, your entire childhood, because that is, your life changes completely. It's like an entire 360. And then not only for that act to happen to you, but then to also have a resulting pregnancy from that. What do you do? I don't know, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Do you know who your dad is?
Yes. If I'm going to be an ambassador of peace and love, how can I do that if I'm not forgiving the number one person who I should be forgiving so that I can live in harmony?
Who taught you that?
My grandmother.
Did she tell you to forgive your dad?
No. I think it's more hard for her to get over the situation because that's her daughter. That was her little girl, you know. It's not something that she has confronted, but that night that I won, she talked to me and she doesn't really understand English, so I had to explain to her my answer, the question, and she was like, wow, I'm very proud of you. That is a strong person. And because of everything that's happened to us, I don't think that she ever felt proud of her work until that night that I won on stage.
Miss Dominican Republic
และแอนเนียกาเซียจากสาธารณรัฐโดมินิกันได้ Miss Grand International ปี 2015 คนที่ 3 ค่ะ
This is the crown.
Yes.
Of course I can see the crown, right?
Of course.
That's why it's here.
Yes.
Can you...
Put it on.
How does it feel?
Very heavy. It feels good. It feels good to know that I won.
When they announced a few months ago, Miss Grand International 2015.
Yes.
As you, your thoughts at that time was
I couldn't believe it. It was more like, wow, I did it. Because it was so recent, Miss USA was so recent, that then coming here, I wasn't sure what to expect. Every girl there believes that she deserves it. She deserves to win because every girl there, I mean, I would hope, worked just as hard as I did. But when you actually do it, it's like when you're running a marathon. Have you ever won a marathon?
Nope.
When you get to the end, it's like, wow, oh my gosh, I finished. Did I really just finish? Yes, I did finish. And you just feel so proud because you didn't only represent yourself, you represented your family, you represented your country, your representation of women.
ครั้งนี้โชคดีของเรามากครับที่เราได้เจอคนสำคัญในชีวิตของอาเนียที่เดินทางมาพักผ่อนกับหลานสาวที่กรุงเทพพอดีนั่นก็คือคุณยายของเธอนั่นเอง
เราอยู่กับคุณยายของอาเนียชื่อว่าไอดานั่นเองนะครับ How do you spell her name?
AYDA.
AYDA. I love her eyes.
Que está enamorada de sus ojos.
Thank you.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
Bonita.
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 Bonito.
Bonito.
For eyes. Bonito.
Bonito. Wow. I know now where you get your good looks from.
Dije que ahora él sabe de dónde yo busco la hermosura.
Thank you.
Now, she speaks Spanish.
Yes.
Okay. And you've been growing up with her for how many years? Has she been taking
Always.
care of her?
21 years.
Since 21?
Yes.
First question is,
Que la primera pregunta.
would you like an easy or hard question?
Que si quiere una pregunta fácil o difícil.
Como quiera.
However you like.
How did you feel
¿Cómo se sintió
when she went on stage
cuando yo estaba en el
and mentioned
escenario
about forgiving her dad?
y mencioné de perdonando a mi papá?
Bien.
She said it was good.
Cuando tú perdonas, eres tú mismo que te hace tu bien.
When you forgive, you are doing well for yourself.
Es importante, si todos los seres nos perdonaran, el mundo fuera diferente.
If all humans forgave one another, the world would be different.
Si perdonara la historia,
If we forgive the
del
story,
mundo,
the world story,
nosotros fuéramos todos felices.
we would all be happy.
How do you like Thailandia?
¿Cómo te gusta Tailandia?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes. You don't need to translate that.
Yes.
Dile que fui a una fiesta y me gustó que nadie tomó ron.
She was at a party in Krabi.
Okay.
Y tenía la alegría,
And
una
she loved
alegría
that
buena.
everyone's spirit was so happy. There wasn't any alcohol. And yet people were still dancing and they put their hearts in everything they do.
Y siento que son sinceras.
And she feels like everyone here is very sincere.
อันนี้เป็นนางงาม
ค่ะ
นะครับแล้ว
เคยเห็นค่ะ
เขาก็ไร้บ้านด้วยเหมือนกัน
เหรอคะ
ใช่ที่อเมริกาที่อันเนี้ยไม่มีก็อย่ายอมแพ้อย่ายอมแพ้